There we go. I was talking to a blank screen that was looking at me. Hopefully I'm up on the live now, and it's not just a voice without a body. So welcome everyone. It's funny, just as I was setting up this live, I got this pop-up on Facebook that said, it was a questionnaire obviously from Facebook saying, do you believe that Facebook is good for the world? Which I thought was really interesting, and I would be fascinated to know what your views are on that, and whether you've had the questionnaire and what you answered and why. So if you're watching, then do let me know what your thoughts are on that, because I thought that was quite interesting. That's not the reason for this live. The reason for this live, Michael Utting likes the video. Hey Michael, welcome. Please do comment #KEM if you're watching. And the purpose of this live is to just talk about the importance of optimizing your images when you have a WordPress website. It applies anywhere across the board. If you're uploading images that are too big, you're going to seriously slow down your website. So I thought that would be a good topic for this Spur of the Moment live. So that is what I'm doing. And I checked on Restream earlier, and frustratingly, their comments are still not working apparently. That said, oh my goodness, they are working here. So even though I have my comments saying they're not working on Restream, I see Michael Utting, very cool, he says. Hey, let's pop you on there. There we go. And we have Jeff Shaffert, who is always wonderful to have accompanying me on my lives. Jeff has one of my websites that I set up for him, and he's working through setting that up. And it's been a really mutually beneficial arrangement, actually, because Jeff is very active working on his website, which is really cool. And hi, Inderpal Singh, I see you're liking the video, so that's cool. Welcome. Don't forget to comment #KEM. So yeah, it's been really good with Jeff, because as he works through, he asks me questions, and that's really cool, because if he's asking questions, hi Fiona, then that helps guide me as to what is helpful for everybody else if he's actually going through the process. Jeff is considering actually taking the challenge so that he has a little bit more guidance. And I'm talking about opening up a few modules for him so he can have a really good look at what it's all about, and hopefully we'll get some feedback there. So it's always lovely to have Jeff with us. And Jeff was actually the one, yay, #KEM, Fiona, awesome. Jeff was the person who was asking about image optimization. So I thought that was a good opportunity to just come say hi to everyone and talk about it. So that is what I'm going to do. So I am going to, what am I going to do first? First, what I need to actually do is take a sip of coffee. Caffeine's cool. What I need to do is go in and check, because I have this issue with Restream. As much as I love Restream, one thing that it does do is it sticks a link on every live that I do. And Facebook doesn't like that. Facebook penalizes me for every link that takes anybody potentially away from the platform. So I'm just actually trying to find it now. And what I would just like to do, if you can bear with me, I know it's torturous, but I'd like to go in and edit the post. And I just want to go into where it's got, I'll share it with you. See, oh, actually, that would be super confusing. If I share it with you, then you're going to see me multiple times, and that's going to be a bit confusing. So just go in here. Hi, Andy, welcome. Andy just joined our community today and has a fascinating background. I am a real environmentalist. We need to protect this planet for the generations to come. And as a mum, that's particularly important and dear to me. Andy actually does that for a living. He tests products and assesses their suitability for the environment and the impact on the environment. And I'm really hoping I can persuade Andy to join us on a live as a guest speaker, because I'd love to hear more about what he does. And he's also comes from a background of web design, social media expert as well, and strategist. So he does a lot. So I would be really cool to have him join us at some point. So Andy's just said, thanks for broadcasting. Most welcome. So I'm going into this post now, and I'm just going to remove multi-streaming with Restream II because Big Brother is watching Facebook. That was my response, because after you say whether you like Facebook or not, and you think that they're changing the world for the better, then you then get to add a comment. And I have to say, I did add Big Brother is watching. So hopefully I'm not going to get penalized for that. You just never know with Facebook. Do you know that they're actually listening to the words that you say? And if you were to ask someone to LIKE or SHARE your material, they ping you for that as well. So yes, good old free speech. I'm just on one more. I might have to refresh the page here. I just want to go into my KEM Biz in a Box page quickly. Sorry guys, this is painful. And if I can get the live up there, I'd really like to remove the link, because they will ping me for this one as well. Here we go. Edit post. And there we have streaming with Restream.io, a cardinal sin to have that in, so I will just delete that. Cool, done. That's all the paperwork finished now, and I can go back to doing my live. That one's disappeared altogether. That's a little bit of a worry. My profile page probably has it on as well. Yes, it does. This is so painful. Nearly done. Here we go. Last one. Edit post, delete. And then I will actually focus on what I intended to focus on. Done. Okay. Cool. All right. Let me just pull up the group, because I don't think that group comments are streamed in StreamYard. Okay, sorry about that. Right, I'm now going to share Jeff's site with you, because it's a handy one to share. So here we go. Where's my share screen? Share screen, share. I want to share that one, I believe. Your entire screen, your application window, or your Chrome tab. Chrome tab might be actually more helpful. There we go. Okay, cool. So this is Jeff's site. This is the back end of a site that I have set up for him. And we were going to talk about the importance of image optimization. So I'll just show you first. This is where our media library is. Hopefully there's no images in there that we shouldn't be displaying. No, that's cool. It looks like Jeff's added an image here. It's a nice one. I like that image a lot. And we see the file size is 244 kilobytes. So that isn't actually too bad, Jeff. You don't want to be going above about 300 kilobytes, because it will slow the site down. And the dimensions are 1000 by 667 pixels, which isn't too bad. So it's not like a massive file of 3000 pixels or whatever. So that's cool. Jeff, are you able to tell me where we might find that image displayed, or shall I just have a quick look on the front end and see? We'll see here whether Jeff's typing is faster than my exploration. But let's just do this. So I'm going to have to probably share a different tab now. So while that loads, I'll stop that one and I'll share a different one. Share screen. Let's go for application window. Let's try that one. That might be more helpful. Share. Now what's coming up? Not that one. Yes, no, this one we want. Cool. So I'm not seeing the image here. And Jeff hasn't responded. I was hoping that I could actually find the image and then we can inspect it using Chrome Inspector, but I don't think he's actually put it anywhere yet. So that makes it a little tricky. So we'll just come out of that menu. How can I show you this? So let's say, go ahead, Sharon. Go ahead and what, Jeff? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I think maybe go ahead and search. But let's say that we wanted to fill this particular banner with an image. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click with my mouse, and I'm going to go down to, can you see this? Maybe you can't. How annoying. It doesn't look like it shows you this part of what I'm doing. But what I'm doing is right-clicking with my mouse, and then you get a drop-down menu, and I'm going to scroll down to Inspect. Now, oh, you can see some of that now. Okay, I'm going to take off Fiona's banner there. Okay, so what you see here are all the elements that Chrome is inspecting for us. Now, I'm hoping I can see what the dimensions are here. Banner. All right, let's try something else. If I go in here and I edit this page, then I can fill this banner with that image and show you more clearly what I'm trying to explain to you. All right, so I've got the banner here. Let's stick it at the front for now. So I'm in the banner. I've just clicked on it, flat sum, and there's no image there at the moment. So I'm going to click Change Media, and I'm going to go in, and I'm going to add this image here, and I'm going to click on Use Image. Okay. So let's just change that text box because it's light, it's not showing. So I'm going to click on dark for contrast. There we go. It's looking better already. There's lots of other things I can do, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we'll click Update. And then I need to go back to the front end of the site. So let's just open up another tab here. Okay, now if I right-click and inspect, it's really fascinating that you can't see that, actually. Very fascinating, but anyway. Now, hopefully, when I hover, where are we? I should be able to just inspect here. And I should be able to see the image, but it's not letting me. It's moving around. It's jumping around. What's it doing? Banner, come on. Show me the image. No, it's not doing it. Why is it not doing it? See, we move it down a wee bit. Just trying to hover over the image so that I can then find the image here and show you. But I haven't found the image in the code yet. Banner, banner. This is the fun of doing a live. This has never happened to me before. Where are you? I should, in theory, be able to find, when I hover over the banner, it should actually show me the image, but it shouldn't just show me the image. What it should show me are the dimensions of the image. There we go. Main. Here we go. Main. Oh, I had it there. Try again. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Come on. Show me, show me. I had it. You might be able to rewind on a replay. And it actually had the dimensions of the image. But I can't find it in the code. It had the dimensions and it showed us what the natural dimensions were and what it actually, here we go. So banner layer container is 1080 by 540. Can you see that? If I move my mouse, it'll be gone. So what that's basically giving us is an indication of the kind of size we need our image to be. We don't want to rely on the theme to have to reduce down a massive image to a small image because that's going to affect the performance of the site. There we go. 1379 by 520.23 is essentially the size the image needs to be. So Jeff's got it at about 1,000. So that's actually pretty good. If you had it any smaller, it's going to start to look grainy on a big screen like I have here. So that was a bit of a long-winded way of trying to show you the importance of having an image that is around about the same size as the area that it needs to fill. Hopefully that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys? Just a yes, no, more information, please, would be cool. But I'll assume that that makes sense, even though it was a long-winded way around of explaining it. So what you see here while we are here is an opportunity to fill out this field, which is the alternative text field. Now, for every image that you use on your website, it is important to describe the purpose of the image. And the reason for this is that sometimes images are not displayed, but the description of the image is still served up. So the bots want to see it, and it gives you some points for SEO as well if you do give this information, if you add it. And when you do that, make sure you add whatever the keywords are that you want to rank for. SEO and keywords is probably something for another day, because it's quite a complicated topic that I can't complete in the next 15 minutes before I have to dash and pick up kids. So just make sure to put something in there that describes the image and any keywords that you want to rank for on the particular page that you have. Now, Jeff is asking me, so it's best to size the image to the window or table? Thereabouts, yes, Jeff. So, for example, a really good example would be, let's come out of this. Let's have a look at your logo. We can do that from the front end here. So if I go to flats, we'll go into customize, probably the quickest way. I have so many windows open that my computer is struggling a wee bit. So apologies for the speed there. All right, so if I go into header and I have my logo, currently it's set to the default, which is Flatsome, but Jeff will want his own logo there. Now, this is a really good example, because if you look at that space, you can see it's only needing a small logo at about, from memory, 90 pixels, 80 pixels or so will be sufficient. You wouldn't want to upload an image there that's 1,000 pixels, because that's going to slow the website down when it's loading it, because it's then got to compress that or reduce the size of that 1,000 pixel image to what it's actually going to serve, and that wastes time and resources and slows your site down. And when you run it through performance and analyzing software, it's going to come up and tell you that that's not cool. So that's a good case in point, Jeff, where you would want to make sure that you reduce that size down. Okay, so that is the logo. That's a good example. Let's just head back to the back end. We'll come out of Media Library and let's go to, what was I going to go to? Plugins, Lightspeed Cache. Okay, now this is the new caching plugin that I have installed. I don't give you access to most of the functionality here. I'm logged in as a super admin, which is why when I log in, Jeff, it looks different to when you log in. What you will see though is, where are your images? Image optimization. Under Lightspeed Cache, which you'll also see that nice symbol there, we can get into image optimization or image optimization there. So you can optimize your images here. It will compress them. It won't resize them to the right size. That's something you need to do yourself. And there's lots of online tools. Personally, I use Photoshop because as someone that's designing professionally, that works for me. But you can resize using a heap of free online tools. Just Google it and one will come up. I did have a list in my challenge, but I can't remember off the top of my head what that was. But coming here, you can just send an optimization request and it will tell you here whether your images have been optimized or not. which there will be. There's limits. I think there's about, where is it, 90 or 100 that you can do at once. You really wouldn't want to be doing any more than that, because it will just slow down the site of the slow down the speed of the site. And then it just tells you how much of a reduction on a cumulative basis has occurred. And the thing to be aware of is that when you upload a single image, it gets uploaded at multiple sizes, and those images are all retained in your file manager under content in one of the folders in cPanel. And I'll give you a ticky tour around cPanel in another live at another time. But basically, what I'm trying to get at is that you upload one image, but actually a lot of images are uploaded as well in different sizes, and this will go through and optimize each group of images that you upload. So hopefully that makes sense. I use it too. Awesome, Jeff. We have a comment there. Jeff has asked, do you recommend JPEG files or PNG format? I love this guy. He just asks such great questions, and he gives me so much material for my lives. It's just wonderful. I love people like Jeff. Thank you. And I really encourage people to ask questions, because this is the time to ask them. And yeah, it just gives me things to talk about, because then I know what people want to know. I think there's quite a big level of assumption when you've been doing this for a long time. You just assume things, but that's a really good question. So the difference between JPEG and .png format is as follows. If you save something in a .png format, you retain all of the quality of that file. Everything that's within it is very high quality, and you can choose PNG. I normally go for PNG 24, because that just keeps everything that you need, all the data in the image file beautifully for you. .png format also retains the transparency as well, so that's what you need if you need to keep any transparency in an image. And an example might be, let's say you've got an image of yourself and you've cut out all the background and it's just transparent. You would want a .png format there, because that retains the transparency. If you convert it to a JPEG file, you lose the transparency, and all the transparent parts then turn white, which is generally fine for most purposes. But the other thing about JPEG files is every time you do something to them and resave them, they lose quality. So your base image, really, you're best working with that as a .png file. Does that make sense, Jeff? Hopefully it does. So that's your image optimization. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we were going to talk about, or anything else that's relevant to image optimization. That's probably all that you need to know about it, that it is important to do. Don't just upload images directly from free sites like Pixabay in a massive size, because for every large image that you upload, you also upload multiple other sizes as well, and you're going to really slow down your site very quickly. I use it too. Yes, no other questions there. I'll just check on the group and see if there's any. Oh, I've moved that. Any questions? No, we're all good there. I'll stop my share. So I think if we keep that short and sweet, that's probably image optimization in a nutshell. I could show you how to resize an image, I guess, if that would be helpful. Does anyone want me to talk about how to resize an image? Yes, no, everyone's gone quiet, no more. I can quickly show you that. Let's have a look. Let me share my screen again. It's very simple. So we'll go for application window. I think I did last time. Share. Oh, we've got everything going on there. Let's move that to, does that work? No. How did I share my screen last time? Way too much going on. Let's go for this one here. Share screen, share entire screen. Let's do that one, see if that makes a difference. That's a bit better. Okay, so let me take you through the process. Okay, Jeff would like me to go through the process. So one of your main sites is Pixabay. So you can get, all of this stuff is free. And there's some really beautiful images, and then there's a search there. So let's say I want to talk about, let's say we want office space, because that's what Jeff had. He had an image that was all about office spaces that we uploaded onto the site. Hi, Dinesh Kumar, welcome. Long time no chat. Dinesh wants to know, what's the perfect size for WooCommerce images for a product in pixels? Now, that's a good question. 600 by 600? Can't remember. It really depends on your theme, Dinesh. So, for example, with Flatsum, you get to set up all your image sizes. I generally leave them well alone, though, because they've now got Regenerate Thumbnails is all integrated within Flatsum. Do you use Flatsum, Dinesh? I'm not sure. I can't remember if you do or not, but it's integrated within that. And if you change the thumbnail size, it just holds up the site for hours as it goes through and changes every single thumbnail on your site. So my general rule of thumb is don't touch it if it looks okay. I'd have to go into a site of mine and check what I have set. How much time have we got? And we've only got about 4 or 5 minutes, and then I need to say goodbye. But I will flick you a message on that, Dinesh. If I don't, remind me, and I'll send you a message. But I think 600 by 600 is ringing a bell. But it does depend. It depends whether you want a square image or whether it's rectangular. There are lots of variables, and I think it does depend on what theme you have working with WooCommerce as well. Sorry, I couldn't be any more helpful off the top of my head. I could open up a site, but we just don't have time right now. So we have all these beautiful office space images. I quite like that one there. So I'm going to click on this one. Okay. And if we click on free download, it might make me log in. But you can see here that you have lots of different options. I used to always save the biggest size that I could, thinking, well, I'll probably use it again and I want the original. But with a Mac that doesn't have a huge hard drive, I can't do that anymore. And I use images. I just end up searching for a new image. I don't tend to reuse my images unless it's something I'm working on and editing in great detail in Photoshop. So just very quickly, let's say we pick 1920 is absolutely fine, because the width of your screen is when you're building a website, it's generally 1920 by 1080, would give you the size of the above the fold content. So the size of the screen when you land on a website, that's what you ultimately see when you land on it. It will be that dimension, 1920 by 1080. So that one's going to be absolutely fine if I want to fill a landing size screen. But if I want a smaller image, then I'm going to have to change that. So let's click on download. Oh, it's going to make me sign up. Is it? Let's see. I did sign up, but I haven't signed up for a while. It always asks me for it, right? So we'll put that in. It's called Nobody. That's interesting. I'll stick it in my downloads because I clear those regularly. Right, so I have that image, and let's see, is Photoshop open? It's not. Let's have a look online. Resize image. There's heaps of them. Online image resizer. Let's go for that one. So it really is as simple as upload your image. I will go to my downloads, go to nobody, open that up, let that upload. And then I have the option here to change. So if I want a fixed aspect ratio, then that's here. So let's say we go for 1080. Oh no, it's not going to do that. No, normal. No, I think fixed. I assume fixed aspect ratio. If I changed one aspect, then the other would change automatically, but it doesn't look like it does, which is going to end up with a very odd looking image. So let's go for normal. And then I can crop by the looks of things. That's weird. How do I crop? This is the joys of picking something while you're live, eh? Just take that banner off. Okay, let's see. All right. So I can rotate my image. I can resize my image here. Here we go. So what's this do? Does this let me resize it? Beautiful. So that enables me to keep the aspect ratio, and I can resize here by percentage, which isn't ideal for our purposes, because we really could do with, because we're working in pixels, it would be handier to be able to actually specify the pixel on one side, change it, and then have it automatically change the other, which is what Photoshop does. And then you have different modes: no fill, white, black, transparent, whatever. And then you can choose your output here. And then you can decide on, so this is your sizing. And then down here, we can actually choose the quality that we want. Generally, when I use Photoshop, I go for about between 60 and 80%. I work on a big screen, so I can be checking, and generally that seems absolutely fine. Probably wouldn't go any lower than 60 if you really need to get a file size down. Best, normal. Okay, so if you click on normal, you can then compress as you want to. And then you just click on resize image and download it. So it's as simple as that. If you're not using Photoshop, for me, it's just a few shortcuts and it's done because I use it all the time. But that is one option for you. And specify a smaller image. Okay, it's a smaller image. What do I want a smaller image? Resize. Wait a few seconds. Please specify a small image. I don't like this one very much. So I'm going to set you some homework. Your homework is to find a better tool for resizing that's a bit simpler and easier to use. If you want me to, I do have to go now. I have 8 minutes to dash out and pick up my son and then my two daughters, or they'll get grumpy with me. If you want me to do a quick rundown on Photoshop, just add a comment and I can always do that for you. But I promise you there are lots of other resizing options, and I had researched this previously, and it's in my challenge, my 30-day challenge. My video tutorials are there. And it's got all the links for resizing tools if you don't want to use Photoshop. So I think that we'll have to leave it there. Hopefully that's clarified a few things for you, Jeff. And I'll just quickly check that there's no comments in the group, because those don't follow through to StreamYard. No, we're all good there. All right, so I think we will leave it there. So hopefully I have explained to you the importance of image optimization, why you need it, and also how to achieve it. And I've also added a wee bit in there about alt tags for your images in the media library as well. So hopefully that has covered the questions that I have been asked. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. It's been fun. I hope it's been fun for you guys and that you've learned something. Jeff said yes. Thanks for the info, Sharon. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for engaging in the live. And we will get you on a live with with me, Jeff, once your camera comes. That would be fun. Alrighty, so I think that is a wrap. Thank you so much for joining in, and have a wonderful weekend. And I'm sure we will chat in the community, KEM WordPress community. If you haven't joined yet, please do. We'd love to see you there. Don't forget, there are still a few websites that are going. If you want one, a free website, yours to keep. And there's a 30-day challenge video tutorial that goes with it as well if you want, but it's not essential. If you would like a website, just send me a message and we will have a pre-website setup chat to figure out what you need and get on with that. Cool, great. Have a great weekend, everyone. And we have a weekly live coming up with Debbie Dybovic, I think is how you pronounce her name, on Monday evening. There'll be more information on that in the group. Until then, over and out. See you again. Bye.